Hello everyone and welcome to Autonauts. This is Otaku Showboat, and today is the very first episode of a brand new series. As this is the first episode, I would highly appreciate it if you would leave a comment, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that this series can rank higher up in search results. Not only is this the first episode, this is also more of a pilot episode, so please be sure to let me know if you are interested in this game and would like to see me play through this series through completion, play through this game through completion. I would like to know because I have been very much enjoying playing Autonauts and would like to share this experience with you all as I go through and am continuing to learn all of the intricacies of this new game that has just recently released. Autonauts is similar to Factorio in that it is a production type of game, a production chain type of game, and the thing about this one is that you do all of your automation through robots, and you have to program your robots. So this game is also a little bit educational in that it helps to teach a lot of how to think like a programmer, and it will really get more and more complex the further that you get into the game. So just to let you all know what the settings I'm using right now are, I've got 1080p window because I have a 1440p monitor. Otherwise, we are top of the line graphics settings, and I have not touched the settings for the keyboard here. We are going to start ourselves a new game. So just what is Autonauts? Well, in Autonauts, you are landing on a planet that you are supposed to colonize. You are landing on a planet to colonize, and part of this is that you will have to set up a whole bunch of robots to meet the needs of your colonists as you progress through the game. Your colonists are going to provide you a resource known as WOV. This is your science that you will use to continue to progress throughout the game and unlock new technologies so that you can do even more complex things until eventually you do all the things. Who knows? I haven't completed a playthrough of this game as of yet, so I don't even know what happens at the very end. Anyway, this is a randomly generated map, so we can hit the randomizer a few times. I would prefer not having so much seawater. I would prefer having a lot more land than anything else. Inland seas are an interesting concept, but I would like to have a fair bit more land than anything else. And just so that you're aware, if you move, which you can move, it does sort of rearrange some of the resources as they appear on the planet. Whatever resource generator they're using is impacted by where you choose to start on this planet. But the things like the soil won't change. They won't change significantly, so you can just move around and be good. I think I'm going to start here right near a whole bunch of large soil patches because spoilers, we're going to need a bit of soil in the early game. Also, if you are a previous viewer of my channel, you may notice that I am in a different position in this game, and that is because the game's UI isn't all that conducive to having a webcam. It's not all that conducive. In my usual position, I end up blocking some rather important UI elements. In this position, this is like the best position that is still a trade-off of what you block versus not looking weird. because otherwise I would have to be like floating in the middle of the video, and yeah, that's not about to happen. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start this. We're going to start with the tutorial so that we can go through this together, get the experience that you would probably get on your first playthrough of the game. And we get to meet a very, very neat little character named Otto! Or Otto Zero. Or Otto Not. For those who don't know, the Zero is also called Not. So, Autonaut, here to prepare you for your life as an Autonaut. Explore, collect resources, craft structures, tools, end machines, automate systems, establish industries, research, colonize. British spelling because these developers are from Scotland. Let's colonize. Use WASD to move the camera, zoom the camera, recenter the camera, explore the dark zones, left click to move, and explore. Do some exploring. Now for the basics. You mean that wasn't the basics? That wasn't the basics? Pick up a stone. Any stone, indeed. Big, gigantic arrow points to stones. Press Q to stow, and Q to bring it out. You can store one item in your backpack at the start of the game. And Q will toggle that. Now, if you're holding an item, you can hold up to 4 of any given item. This is very important. Now you are supposed to hover over. If you hold Alt and you hover over objects, the item that is in your hand will give you context-sensitive clues as to what interactions you can do with an object with the item that you have in your hand. So always bear in mind, if you are ever in doubt of what you can use an item on, hold Alt and hover over stuff with it. Because apparently, now if I left click another stone, I'll just pick up another stone. Now what the game wants me to do next is to left click a tree. And this will chop down a tree, treating the stone as a crude, rudimentary axe. Cruder than crude. We don't need this anymore. Yeah, we've got the basics. Now, I'm sort of hiding the icon here, but pushing E opens up our blueprint window, and here you can see on the far other side of the screen, that away, the stuff you need for the crude workbench, and that is what I was blocking when I was in that corner of the screen. And it's really important for you all to be able to actually see what ingredients are needed for what. So I decided, you know what, I'll take the blocking of the blueprint over the blocking of the stuff on the other side of the screen. So we now have to build a workshop. We can place this just about anywhere because we can actually move this after we've placed it. No worries there. I do, however, want it relatively close to where I will be actually chopping trees down. So let's figure out where exactly that's going to happen. Now, I think there is a good spot in here that's fully covered, so I'm actually going to set this up right there. And push E to exit. Now we need 2 logs and 2 sticks. Now we can only carry 1 log at a time. You left click to pick it up, and you right click to place it on the blueprint. Left click to pick it up, right click to place it on the blueprint. I am going to confuse this all of the time. And we can of course pick up 2 sticks. We can pick up to 4 sticks and place that, and voila! There's our workbench. We can now build a crude axe with a stick and a stone. Now, because I don't have anything in my backpack, I could have picked up a stick, stored it, and then picked up a stone, or picked up a stone, stored it, and picked up a stick to do this, but I just did it the long way. Pick up your axe, and then head to a log and chop it. Logs can be chopped into planks, and then planks can be chopped into poles. I'm going to call them rods. I'm going to call them rods all the time because that's just easier. That's what my mind thinks. So now we get to build a robot assembly. Oh boy. Time for bots. Time for bots. Here is the main part of the game. We are going to be building a lot of robots, and that's what the early game is going to be very much focused around, is building all the robots. Lots and lots and lots of robots. We need 3 planks, so I'm going to need to chop another log. Find and chop another log. By the way, where is my... There it is. So I need to bear in mind that my... Oh, hi. Hard rocks. My initial stone is right here. You will always... This is why the resources do change a little bit. You, depending on where you decide you want to land, is because the game needs to make sure that it will always spawn at a certain amount of distance from your starting location, very specific things. This is one of them. You will always get a patch of stone that actually looks exactly like this little star-shaped pattern of stone. You will always have one, no matter where you land, that will spawn right nearby. It is very important because that is your only infinite supply. At least I do hope that it's an infinite supply of stone. So always, always, always bear that in mind. Let's pick up our planks and move right along. I will note that this is actually the second time I am recording this particular pilot episode because, well, I was in the other position last time and I realized and thought to myself, you know what, I can't actually put out this video with me in that position and blocking all the things. So we're doing it again with me here. And hopefully this will actually end up being a much better video. So we've built the place to actually build our robots. Now we need to actually start making robots, and that's going to need 1 log, 3 planks, 1 pole, and 1 tree seed. So let's grab a tree seed, place that in, and then go grab one of these poles that we've made. And from there, we need to get 1 log. All right, well, we've got a convenient log right here. We've got a couple of other convenient logs over here that I will probably use. Now, we're going to chop this. Now, 1 log makes 2 planks, not 3, so we will have to chop 2 logs here. Pick up 3 planks and right-click 3 times to place everything that I am holding. And voila! There is our first beautiful robot. It needs to be charged and give it its initial charge, literally turning the cranks to charge it up. Our little clockwork robots. You're ready to start automating. Yes, we are. Now, our first robot here, following the tutorial, is going to be the one that will chop down all of the trees. It will chop down all of the trees, and to do so, it's going to... It's going to need its own axe. So we're going to pick up a stick and a stone and make ourselves a second axe. And we are going to give that axe to our wonderful, beautiful robot by picking it up and right-clicking on our robot. And it now has its own handy-dandy little axe in its hand. Okay, got your crude axe ready? I do now. Press space to whistle. Left-click on the robot. Hit record, and then left-click a tree. Congratulations, we have now programmed, as soon as we hit this little button here, to repeat forever, we have now programmed our first robot. Congratulations, you've just made code. You've just programmed something. So, let's actually discuss what this actually means here. So, forever, we will find the nearest tree in the given zone. Now, this zone, I'm going to align right there. Right there. Yeah, right there. So, in this area, You can click on the little gray spot here to find the nearest tree in an area and define what area that is. Move to the tree that you have found in that area, and then use the item that you are holding. Once you have used the item that you are holding, we repeat. We go down and we go back up to the beginning. Forever. Find a tree, move to tree, use your item. Find a tree, move to tree, use your item. Forever and ever and ever. This is a very, very basic program, but it's a functional program. Yeah, it won't stop. Let's name him Tree Cutter 1. Name this little bot, beautiful bot, Tree Cutter 1, because that's what it is. Tree Cutter or Tree Chopper 1. Now we need to make another robot, because it's just going to cut down all of those logs. We don't really want that. We don't really want just to cut all the trees down. We need to make a sustainable forestry business. So we're going to have to replant some seeds to get this going. For now, though, he's just cutting down and giving us plenty of glorious, glorious things. Now, I should have a pole. Oops, I did not right-click twice there to clear what I was holding. That's going to happen a lot. That's going to happen a lot. Absolutely a lot. So, robot number 2. You are going to dig some holes. You're going to be the diggy holes. We need to get a stick and a stone. Sticks and stones. And once we make our spade, we're going to pick up our spade. I made it! Yes, I did. Click on the thing, hit record, and then we're going to go find a space in the soil. And we are going to dig a hole. Find nearest soil in area, move to soil, and use held item. Now, the thing about the digging, and it's going to tell us now about the area and defining the area. This is the alignment that I want here, making sure we're all full in soil. How this works is that it will go top left to bottom right, and it will be every other tile it will dig. It will dig a hole every other tile. That is how this is designed to work. So close that, repeat forever. So it will use the thing. However, it won't work until we actually give it the spade. So it'll go and do its thing, and it'll start digging, and it will dig in that pattern. Now, of course, the hole that I dug does not fit the pattern, so it'll have empty spaces in every tile around each hole. So you can see the next one's here, next one's going to be right here, and then right here, and then here, and then here. Really now? That's not very efficient. That's not very efficient, because it's going to put a hole somewhere. I don't know. It's not going to start a hole in the very top left corner. Interesting. Alright, close that. Make another robot. Yes, we are not done yet. We are not done yet. We need to make even more. We need to cut 2 logs into planks, and one of the planks into more rods. / poles. Pick up a pole, send the pole. You are going to memorize this recipe real fast. Just saying. This recipe for making the robots, yeah, this one you'll memorize real quick. Real quick. You're going to be making lots of robots at the start by hand before you can truly start automating the production of your robots. Alright, this robot doesn't need anything, because what this robot's going to do is it's going to pick up an acorn, slash a tree seed in an area, the same area that we have been picking things up in thus far. We're then going to find a hole, right-click the hole, and plant the seed. We also have to define the area for finding the holes, make that match everything else, repeat the whole thing forever, and we can now go. And that's basic forestry. And that will end the tutorial here. About 20 minutes to finish this tutorial and start up the new game. Yeah, that's about the same as the previous take of this. Here's your commemorative slab, and we now have things. Stuff and things have unlocked. Stuff and things. We can now get a crude pick, as well as, like, yeah, I guess just crude pick. And we get all these beautiful tips. In particular, advanced camera controls is the best tip. Shift middle click to rotate the camera so that you can actually see behind things and be able to click things behind, and then Shift R to reset the orientation. You can always move structures, keep things simple. More bots are better than fewer complex bots, although eventually you will need to do complex bots. Goodbye, Autonaut. And of course, you are the tree seed planter, or the tree planter. I guess I didn't name our Mark II buddy here. You are the hole digger. Excuse me, hole digger 1. I need to iterate on these names by adding numbers. Also, we're going to make a team. You are Forestry 1. You can be green. You can be green, and then all 3 of these guys can be part of this team. This list is going to end up being very long. It is your entire list of robots, so definitely bear that in mind. Now, we can already see where some problems will arise with our little basic automation here. We have a guy that needs to be recharged. Now is the time to actually start thinking about how to fully automate this system. That is my plan. I will fully automate this system. So we are going to need a lot more robots in order to fully automate this system. And it's going to start with a robot built exclusively for recharging other robots. And we're actually going to need 2 of these guys, but for now, we will have just the one. For now, we will have the one, because we'll have to wait for another one to... Well, basically, we'll have to wait for the bot that's charging to need to be recharged, or just build extra robots. So hello, Mark IV. Also, you can, like, pick up and drop robots. That is the thing. You are Charger 1. Please do the following. Move to a discharge bot in an area and recharge them. And we will define our area as being the exact same area. Excuse me, I said the exact same area as everything else is currently operating in. And do that forever. Never forget to say to do things forever. And we'll put him in with Forestry because this is all related to everything that is involved in the Forestry area. We will also need robots to build... Hey, we got a thing! A new commemorative slab! My first Forestry gives us access to the chopping block. Now that's very, very important, and it unlocks a ton more stuff that is available. And since I am no longer blocking stuff, I can choose to pin items. Now, initially, I think that the Forestry one will be the one to keep pinned, just because. Now, what does that actually pin? Oh, right right there. Just gives you access to hover over it. I mean, how hard is it just to go here? I mean, if this list is incredibly long, then yeah, I can see that becoming a problem. Alright, well, continuing along, we could see, hey, this guy needs an axe. Well, we can help to fix that problem. Do I have a rod hanging out anywhere? I guess not. I should somewhere. That's the other problem, is if you don't have storage for all of these things, things can start getting lost, and things do despawn over time. So you definitely have to keep all of this in mind as you are continuing to build. Now you need a spade. Well, we need to actually automate our stone production among everything else. So what I'm going to do, is I'm going to pick that back up. I'm going to make a spade to give the dude the spade, and then I'm going to make an axe to give the dude the axe. And we can see how quickly things get more and more complex here. So we can give that dude the spade. We have to come back. We have to change this recipe to be the hatchet. We need to pick up a stone, take it over here, and you can see how quickly we will run out of what is currently available for stones if we're not careful. So take that, right-click, give it to the dude. Hello, sheep. I guess that's just enough grass to feed you. So the question is, what do we have our next robot do? I'm going to say that we're going to make a pick, and this will be our dude that will make us stones. Stones will be very, 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 very important. We will also be wanting chopping blocks, at least 2 of them, as well as pallets that we will expand later, as well as several crates. We can, of course, stack up to 3 of them at a time. Make sure I pick that up, recharge this guy, be like, hey, buddy, you are going to be miner 1, stone miner 1, follow me. You are going to go here. Now, I will absolutely mess this up. I'm pretty sure this is right-click. No, this is left-click. Right-click will drop what I'm holding in that location. So find the nearest deposits here, stone deposits, move and use your held item. That is the basics of what I need, and we will do this forever. This is just the simple program. We will tell this guy to do more as time goes on. Here, take the thing, and they will do his merry little thing. Now, we will, of course, also need a charging robot to charge down here, and we will need a robot that will store the stones. So, now we have a lot more stuff that we have to deal with, but with that, we have gotten to a good stopping point here. What have we done? We have our basic forestry automated. We have a lot of logs now. We need to actually start doing stuff with all of these logs, and that's going to mean that we will have to make some places to put these things, as well as make robots that will transport these things. So that's what we will do in the next video. So, this is the pilot video of this particular series. If you would like to see it continue, be sure to let me know in the comments below. I would like, of course, to thank all of you for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. Please do not forget to leave comments, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to help this series become higher up in the YouTube search results. We've got an algorithm to deal with to get ourselves seen, and for the channel to grow. Please help me grow by doing all of the beautiful engagements, and I hope to see you all on the next video.